good tangent to start the show.
Well, Jeff, what'd you make of the combine weekend outside of that, outside of what you saw, Jeff? I was saying to John, it feels like I can't escape the AJ Brown. I mean, I'm trying to research because I was in the Smoky Mountains at the end of last week through the weekend. So
Oh, that's a fun
I
trip.
wasn't. Yeah, it was great. But like I didn't really have a chance to consume the combine like I was able to last year. So I'm researching this morning before the show. I got up nice and early, researching. I'm like, holy shit, everywhere I look, it's the first headline is still AJ Brown on every freaking website. But what were your takeaways from the NFL Combine as it relates to the Eagles? I think there was some interesting stuff. They met with a lot of tight ends. They met with a lot of secondary guys. They met with some secondary people, some edge players, a lot of athletes stood out at the Combine. What did you take away, Jeff, from the Combines this weekend?
So back to the AJ Brown stuff here. I'm kind of with John. I'm leaning toward them keeping him. I mean, I really do believe it's kind of 50-50. I feel it's Howie Roseman saying to teams, hey, look, in a way, he's available. Give us your best shot. Give us something that would let us move him. If not, we're keeping him because we just don't trade away good players. And that's just how I felt the entire time. It's like, okay. I mean, if you want to offer a first-round pick, it's like we'll listen. We'll keep you on the line, but offer us a third. Forget it, man. Like we're not trading this guy.
What
He's
do you
too
think about
good.
the unserious part, though? Like a lot now people are saying, okay, the Eagles' asking price is unserious. It's a first and an additional premium pick, which I guess
it should be unserious. I mean, honestly, that's just how I feel with players, especially of his caliber. If you want him, trade a premium to get him. You have to give up something to get something. And I get the contract.
Dude. I mean, a first and a third or a first and a second for an almost 30-year-old wideout making $32 million. That's rich.
They traded the first and third for him too, and we weren't sure. We knew AJ Brown was good, but we weren't sure he was AJ Brown good.
That's true. He was not this good when the Eagles traded for him. That's true.
Yeah, exactly. And this is just, remember us three like talking about this when they traded for him. They're like, okay, yeah, the Eagles traded for a good player, but how good is this guy? Is he worth? Well, yeah, he was worth it. And I think the Eagles are banking on, well, look at what he's done the last 4 years. He's top 5 in receiving touchdowns. He's top 5 in receiving yards. He was an all-pro in 3 of those 4 years. And I still say it was more the scheme than him at the end of the day, but you got to put some blame on him too, because if I was an opposing team's GM or front office, I'd be like, did this guy lose a step or not? And what are we trading for here?
Yeah, and if I was an opposing team's GM, and I get it, Eagles fans want a first and a third or whatever it is, I wouldn't be sending a first-round pick. Now, I'm not an NFL GM, and I'm not professing to know nearly as much as they do, but I wouldn't send a first-round pick.
I have a fun analogy for this. Because of all the Patriots AJ Brown talk over the past year, it feels so forced, like they're trying to will into existence, like the Knicks trying to will Joel Embiid into existence. And what's going to happen is they're just going to boo AJ Brown every time he touches the football, but the Eagles only play the Patriots once every 4 years.
I don't know, but I mean, I think legitimately, AJ likes the Patriots, obviously. Mike Vrabel likes AJ and vice versa, even though they got off to a rocky start. They want a wide receiver, a big-time wide receiver, to get Drake Maye to the next level. I think, from the Patriots standpoint, they have legitimate interest in AJ Brown. I don't think it's about anything more than that. And then, they're trying to take advantage of what they think is a wounded animal from the Eagles' perspective. That's where I think all this comes from. And the trade speculation as a whole is, we how many times, Jeff, have you seen a disgruntled receiver and what happens? They get moved.
Yeah, they all get moved.
When everybody shits on, and it's all been correct, whether whoever your favorite shit on person is, talking about AJ potentially getting traded back and all these times. It's all true, but it's all coming from outside of Philadelphia. It's what other executives believe. They believe the Eagles are going to trade AJ Brown. Doesn't make it true, but that's what they believe. And they believe it because that's what usually happens.
I thought the Bills were never going to trade Stefon Diggs until they did.
Always happens. I
Yeah,
remember Stefon getting traded from the Vikings. It was like he did that shit on social media, and you're like, well, it's not going to be a big deal. Then that same afternoon, he was gone. He was gone in one afternoon.
It's such a different era. I still think this city is just haunted by the TO stuff that happened 21 years ago, and receivers have a different way of acting now. It's not doing sit-ups in the driveway anymore. It's post cryptic stuff on social media.
I kind of wish we got that. That'd be at least more entertaining.
That was an entertaining day.
If John was in AJ Brown's driveway and he was doing sit-ups, I'd be like, all right, we got some content here now.
I was at training camp that day, Xander. I'll never forget it. I remember he took off and no one knew what happened. Then you heard afterwards he got kicked out of practice, and you get home and you see like Channel 6 and everybody's doing sit-ups on the driveway.
Yeah.
T.O.'s a wackadoo, but now it's more social media, and obviously, you go on different podcasts, or if you're CJ Garner, you just stream yourself. And
say some stuff to the Eagles.
And say some stuff, and sometimes it's a different world. It's a different world. And Jeffrey Lurie had to talk to him to tone it down. He did tone it down, but how did he tone it down? He didn't talk to anybody. But the AJ has this history of and it's not like T.O. It's not like other diva wide receivers. It's born out of frustration. We all know, well, people lied to themselves in 2024 because the Eagles won the Super Bowl, so I get it. This passing offense has been shitty for 2 calendar years. Shitty. Let's be honest. With A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert, they've had a shitty passing offense.
And that's where AJ's frustrations that came in. Johnny said to you, he said to me, he said to a bunch of people about what frustrates him, and you get his viewpoint.
So it's been going on for a long time, and look, you have this back and forth because Nick went to a very risk-averse philosophy, a very run-based scheme, and they won at a high level. So it's like, what are you going to do? If you win the Super Bowl, you're going to say, oh, we're going to change, and we're just going to throw the ball all over the lot. No, it's understandable why they tried to run it back, but it didn't work. It fell apart. The frustrations just mounted further because this year he couldn't run the ball effectively too often. And you still couldn't throw the ball effectively too often. So it got pretty ugly. How do you convince them that it's going to be different? I don't know. Is that possible? I don't know.
I mean, do you want to let AJ Brown, what AJ Brown wants, dictate how you run your team? You know what I mean? That's where I think you get into a territory where it's just not good. I mean, you don't want – I hate the phrase that people use, the inmates run the asylum. I'm not a fan of that phrase, but it fits. I mean, you don't want –
It does,
you don't want the players dictating to you how you run your team, how you play offense, how you do everything from soup to nuts. I don't think that makes any sense.
Do you guys think a player hears this from again, how can I word it? Every time you kind of talk about what you want in this offense, you ever notice we lose football games? To me, I don't know. I always felt in the ultimate team sport winning was the thing, but apparently it isn't.
Well, many people pointed that out last year, when they won the first 4 games when AJ was unhappy. And then when he started getting his targets, that's when they had lost the 3 of 4 or whatever.
I think I put out like one of those and I did it for fun. Like just, AJ Brown has 3 straight 100-yard games. By the way, the Eagles are 0-3 in those games.
Yeah, to the Eagles' credit though, they've never deferred from what they wanted to do.
I agree.
Despite being maybe pushed in a different direction. So I don't think it's gotten to that point. It's a difficult decision for Howie because, again, it has nothing to do with all of so many things that people talk about. It has nothing to do, in my opinion, other than does he want to be here? If he wants to be here, or is he at least open to being here, you don't trade him because this is not the time to trade him from a cap and dead cap and dead money standpoint.